You don't seem bitchy yet, but that can always change. It's ridiculous.
One person I've met in my entire goddamn life. We're getting married.
Only if I can take half your money.
That's what I'm saying. You're rare. Speaking unspoken words right now. Very chill personality and
Thank you.
Great sense of humor. I'm so happy we ran into you guys tonight.
Aww.
This is really fun.
Yeah, it is.
We're going to go over an infield where there's a lot of verbal jousting, I guess you could say. Like there's a lot of teasing, right? We're teasing each other, outwitting each other. Well, I'm mostly outwitting her, but I'm basically getting her to pursue me by being in a way cocky, by being kind of arrogant, but in a playful, fun way, not in a try hard, overbearing way, which is something a lot of guys get mixed up. So you're going to see what really good verbal game looks like in this clip, the kind of verbal game that makes girls chase you, that makes them pursue you, that makes them look forward and be excited and like hope that they might get the chance to sleep with you, as opposed to being like, maybe, well, I'm kind of bored, so maybe I'll go home with him. No, it's not like that. It's like they're excited about the idea. You're about to see an infield where the verbal game is really good, but also I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun, and that is infectious. You're going to see her get sucked in more and more to that vibe, to that energy. And that's what game is about. It's about being so charismatic, right? Being so charming, being so fun to be around that women get sucked in, that they're magnetically attracted to you. And then also adding the element of sexual tension so that the girl feels this increasing desire, this increasing need almost to sleep with you. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do in this video. So with that said, let's get into the footage. I think that's kind of an important little comment. I'm so happy we ran into you guys, right? It's a rare experience for a girl to meet a guy who they can just let loose with, have fun with, who isn't serious, who isn't try hard, who isn't like needy and weird. Guys will approach them, but the guys who do approach them are usually all of those things. And when you're not, you're making the girl's day, right? Girls will say things like this.
I like him. I like the vibes.
Thank you.
You're a pig.
I'm a virgin.
That has no correlation to being a pig.
How could you possibly be a virgin pig?
The rooms are like tiny, so fun. It's like supposed to be like all like loose.
That's so mean. Oink, oink.
All right. Well,
If I'm a pig, I'm a teacup pig.
You like
I like that one. I'm a pig. I'm a teacup pig because they're, one of the cutest things on the planet. Yeah, so we're starting this video a couple minutes after the initial approach. I couldn't find that part, sadly, but just so you know, what I said is I opened with something about how she looks Scandinavian, right? I started with that, and then we talked a couple minutes, and that's where the video starts here.
bastard is what you are.
Oh, and does it, that one's
I'll call you as like.
not the best. I am. But I think it's better to be cocky and successful than like humble and lame.
Why, if you're not coming out,
I feel like there's got to be a that's what she said there, but why is this not coming out? That would be a sucky problem to have. That's an awkward one.
It's kind of funny because that's what she said is from The Office, and it's from a character that is not considered like a Casanova, right? It's from Michael Scott. I believe that's where it was invented. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But it's actually a good thing to do in interactions. It's a very easy, non-committal, non-pushy, just playful, easy way to kind of add a little sexuality into the conversation, to make it a little bit more sexual. And then you can often transition from that to a conversation that has more sexual tension rather than it being too logical and too inert.
I showed you mine. Show me yours.
I'm not like public.
Be like public. It can be for yourself. From your secret diary.
Wait till you get like blackout.
Huh?
Wait till you get blackout.
Then I can see your work.
All of it. Since like whole portfolio. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
I'll send you my published writer's portfolio. That
Your published writer's portfolio?
Okay.
That's why I gave up on Tinder. I linked my...
So something happened there that's very subtle, but there was a silence for about 3 seconds. And a lot of guys, when they have a chasing kind of needy mindset, they will not let that happen. They will not let there be a conversational vacuum. They feel the need to instantly, oh, she's going to stop liking me if I stop. No, if you assume that you have high value, you're not in a rush. You're not in a rush to have to say the next thing because you know she's going to stick around because you know you're high value and you know that she's going to want to stay and keep talking to you. That's the mindset that you should have.
Like right when I turned 21, when I went to a casino, I played blackjack and I was like, play like random buttons.
How much did you lose?
No, I went even.
Really? That's impressive.
No, truly, I know, right?
Maybe you're a natural.
Right?
Maybe you're a natural.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
You should gamble more.
No, that's
While
a
drinking.
rabbit hole. That's a stupid fucking rabbit hole.
You should drink more and gamble more.
Is that your plan?
My stepdad only lost about $100,000.
So one thing I want to mention about this clip is my voice is a bit higher pitched from back then, which is not ideal, but like you don't have to be perfect with everything. It's okay. But that's something I noticed, which is interesting. But the other thing that is important to pay attention to here is I'm very enthusiastic. I'm speaking with emotion, with energy. The number one thing I have to help guys with a lot of the time is they're just so serious. There's no enthusiasm in what they're saying. And it just kind of takes away the energy from the interaction and it makes the girl feel bored.
Dollars gambling in one day?
She was just asking about
That's a record.
So she was the most innocent person you'll ever meet. She was
Really?
people gamble.
Wait, so you're very different then?
So different.
Because you don't come across very innocent, to be honest.
don't.
No,
How do I come
not at
across?
all. Not innocent.
So that was a good line there. Okay, I changed the size, but that was a really good line. You don't come across as innocent because it's very challenging. Now, it's not mean. I'm not saying it in a mean, like aggressive, confrontational way, but it makes her wonder, like, what the fuck does he mean? Why do I not seem innocent? And it has a bit of a sexual implication. And so it gets her to start wondering and to start kind of running a loop in her mind, like, why is he saying this? And you'll see where it ends up going.
I'd say a nice word would be feisty. That doesn't sound too mean.
What's the mean word?
I don't know, but whatever's the opposite of innocent. I don't have a word in mind.
I did have a word in mind, and it was, something like slutty, but I wasn't going to say that for obvious reasons.
I mean, I'm sure it's a creative writer. You've got all the words.
I've got, what am I, Trump? I've got all the words, all the best words.
I'm sure you do.
Again, free association. So being witty, being charismatic, it comes down to free association. Whenever she gives me something, I'm able to find a way to, it's kind of like clay. You mold what she gives you and you take control of the conversation. You get it to where she's reacting to you. So she's kind of trying to tease me and insult me, and then I'm turning it around by making this reference.
That's a fucking Trump quote. I've got all the, why do I sound like JFK when I do Trump? I've got all the words.
So tell me, what's the bad word?
I don't know yet. I can think of it.
Feisty, then.
And she really wants to know, right? So it created curiosity. And if you can make a girl intrigued, make her curious, she'll start have this desire to pursue and to start chasing you.
Well, you're not the opposite of feisty. You're the opposite of innocent. You don't seem bitchy yet, but that can always change.
I'm not gonna. I like that line a lot. You don't seem bitchy yet, which is basically it's my way of saying so far I like you, but I know that could change at any moment. So what I'm doing is, you could call it frame control. I'm creating the frame of the interaction that so far I like her, but oftentimes in my past, maybe I liked a girl, but she ended up saying something or acting in a way that I lost interest. So I'm basically saying that I'm not selling myself to her. I'm taking the frame of the buyer, not the seller, right? The buyer, you go into a store with a bunch of TVs and you're like, maybe I like this one. Let's see the features, learn more about it, but you're not attached to it. And you can always go to another one. Whereas the seller is like, I need you to buy this product. I need you to get this product. I need the money. You want to come from the buyer mentality.
That tends to come out later, you know?
No, I'm a nice.
Like, I've dated girls who are the biggest sweethearts in the world, but then like 3 months in, just like a switch
That's
flips.
called being fake.
Huh?
That's called being fake.
Some people are really good at it though. When you're naive, it lets you like get the highest
all the
highs.
emotions?
Yeah, you get the
Yeah.
highest highs. And if you're not naive, you're closed off to the highs and the lows. It's like being a sociopath.
Remember when people are like, you're being naive.
So what I'm doing here is more frame control. Basically, I'm setting the idea that it's better to take risks and to get the emotional highs, even though you're taking a risk, than to play it safe, right? I'm encouraging that mindset. And if you think about it, what is that mindset? That is the mindset that if you're going to have a one-night stand, that's how you want to think. So I'm basically planting that idea into the interaction as opposed to making her feel judged, as opposed to being too serious, as opposed to being too logical. And that's a very powerful, it's more advanced, right? It's not something you need to do to have a successful interaction, but that's why I'm saying that.
Like hindsight bias,
Hey, you do know psychology.
obviously.
A lot. Okay, so I know a lot of psych.
So that was an example of qualification, right? I'm saying, oh, I'm actually impressed. I'm showing her that I appreciate that she said she's into psychology and she's not bullshitting about that.
Majors.
Sure.
Okay, so I.
It's very important to have some qualification. If you don't know what that means, it's you're making the girl feel like she earned your affection, right? That you actually like her for her, as opposed to you just thought she was hot. And that's what creates more of a, you could call it intimacy in the interaction.
It was a really. So in my classes, like half the people in the psychology classes are on Facebook. They're not paying attention. They're just doing.
care about psychology.
Sadly, that's where the clip ends. You can get the rest of the clip on my mastermind group, The Inner Circle, and that's the only way to access it. So if you want the entire clip showing how I actually pulled that girl, the only way to get it is by joining The Inner Circle. Now, when you join, you do not instantly get access to the infield. You actually have to complete certain challenges. So you have to go out and approach women in the real world, and then you get access to it, because I don't want The Inner Circle to be more content where you can just consume it, not take action, and just be more passive. So if that's what you're looking for, The Inner Circle, it's not for you. But if you like the idea of being in a community that is all about taking action, where members who don't take action actually get removed, and that's where you can get access to not only the rest of this infield, but also many hours of other infield, including entire polls all the way from the approach to taking the girl home. That's how you can get access to that. So click the link below to learn more.